Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. In January 1966, a group of soldiers led by Major Patrick Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu orchestrated and executed a coup that ended Nigeria's first republic. The premier of the northern region, Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Prime Minister of Nigeria, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, the premier of the western region, Chief Ladoke Akintola, and the Federal Commissioner for Finance, Chief Festus Okoti Ebo, were all executed by the rebelling soldiers. Nigeria was never to remain the same again after that coup. About 6 months later, a counter coup was executed, and a 32-year-old soldier, Yakubu Gowon, became Nigeria's head of state. Those coups led to a series of events that culminated in a civil war known popularly as the Biafra War. Wherever you stand or whatever views you hold about the events of the early 1960s, the fact remains that the tragic war is a reality of Nigeria's history. Fortunately, there are some who are trying to tell the story of the war, at least from their own perspectives. Sam Ohuabunwa is most known as a captain of industry. He's a former CEO of Nemeth Pharmaceuticals. What is hardly known about him is that he was a combatant during the Biafra War. In real-life kill-or-be-killed situations, Ohuabunwa suffered the physical, emotional, and psychological pains of war like very few people have ever done. With his relatively new book titled The Port Harcourt Volunteer, he has joined the list of those who are attempting to tell Nigeria stories, particularly the story of Biafra. The Port Harcourt Volunteer is his narrative on his Biafra war experience as a combatant. He joined us to review the book and discuss issues related. Enjoy our chat. Okay, two of your books catch my attention.
Okay.
I've read The Port Harcourt Volunteer.
Good.
Which is very interesting.
Thank God.
Reads like a war, like an action story. Okay, so here's a Port Harcourt Volunteer, and then also Nigeria Need for the Evolution of a New Nation. Okay, well, let's start with this very interesting. This is more like a memoir, right? Yeah. Now, for those who are out there who are probably wondering what this book is about, let's do a quick summary of it, first of all.
Yeah.
And then I've got issues here. I've got questions to ask you.
All right. The book is essentially a story captured within a time period of my life. The story of how the war started from my perspective and my role as to the Nigeria Biafra War, or the Nigerian Civil War as it's officially called. It's a story that speaks about my early you can say my early politicization, my early understanding of what goes on in my environment. Because I believe there were not many secondary school pupils that were at my level who had the same level of political consciousness at the time. Again, because of this desire to see the environment work well, the desire to see everything go well, the desire to see people live at peace and make progress, I was conscious of what was happening in my environment. So when the war came, I saw that it was a war that we, those of us who were in eastern Nigeria then, who became Biafra, felt that we have been mistreated. And therefore, if somebody mistreated you and you retreated to your own enclave, and the person pursues you to enclave, what else do you have to do but to fight? So the story of how I got into the battle and all that I went through, I was eager to go into battle. And that's when I got into the battle, God said, you want to fight? Okay,
you will still fight.
And I saw it from the day I left the School of Infantry, which again, I didn't complete my training. We were just one night taken out through all the battles in Uzuakole, in Umuahia, in Aba, till the end of the war. It speaks about miraculous deliverances. There were situations that I passed through which can only be God. And some of them are still inexplicable to me now. War scientists, strategies, and all kinds of people are giving explanations as to what happened. but I know at the end of the day it was God's grace. And also the book concludes with telling the story of what caused the war, how it was fought, how it ended, and my own personal desire that I do not see another war in my life. I also do not want my children to pass through that. That's part of the book.
You know, as I read your book, what kept going through my mind was, I've only known this man as a corporate executive, a pharmacist, CEO of a multinational. But here was I reading your story as a soldier, a combatant.
Yeah.
You were actually at the war front throughout.
Sure.
How old were you then? I was trying to guess your age then. You're probably about 18, 19?
I was 18 when I began to fight in 1968. Even though, as I said, as I admitted somewhere in the book, I was inflating my age by 2 years, just to get allowed to join the army.
So they thought you were probably 20, 21.
I remember that some of my guys, my troops, tried to organize a party for me when they claimed I was 21. And my mother was in that place. I was hearing them saying, well, wishing Mazi Samuel Ohuabunwa 21st or Lieutenant Ohuabunwa happy 21st birthday. My mother flinched. It's like, what are these guys?
He's not 21.
I'm not sure. This is a 19-year-old guy.
Wow.
You know, but I was truly, the war started when I was 17, but I started to fight in 1968 when I was 18.
And you led a battalion?
I led a company.
A company?
Yeah, I led a platoon, a company. And at some point, it was like leading a battalion, but I wasn't the battalion commander because, you know, leadership, of course, sometimes it's not just by hierarchy, it's not just by title. But if you find yourself in a place where you are, I mean, there was a time I led my battalion, truly, because everyone was listening to me. You know, even the brigade commander had to wait for me at some point because he wanted to see me and say, I'm not going to come and see you. I have work to do. Let me defend this territory. After I defended it, then I have time to come and see you. And he had to wait. I mean, that way you assumed more powers than.
So you were 19, about the 19 thereabouts?
Yes, 18, 19.
You were in kill or be killed situation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course you killed.
Yes, I killed.
That was
I was almost killed.
And you were almost killed?
I was almost killed.
You had bullet wounds?
Yes, I had bullet wounds to show. Yeah.
Yeah, you explained all that in this book.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me about it. Is that the reason why people like you get very worried when you hear war cries today?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, it is, because to be sincere, I probably wouldn't have been here talking to you. Probably I wouldn't have had children. Certainly, if I wasn't alive. You know, I mean, the world that I have built around myself, the kind of things I have done, the situations I have impacted, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do them. And I would have died, you know, because at the end of the day, what was the essence of the whole exercise? You know, so it was tough. It was tough. The good thing about the war, from our own perspective, was that you have the psychology you are fighting on in self-defense. And when you are in self-defense, you don't carry any guilt. You know, it's like, you want to kill me, then I better kill you before you kill me. Or in trying to protect myself, if I kill you, well, but it was a very terrible experience. I mean, I described an experience for you during the war. I don't know whether it's in this book, where I had passed through, we captured a particular location. And we thought everyone was okay. And I was just passing through. A soldier was trapped inside a kiosk. And he opened fire blank on me and my Batman. It was grace.
Oh yeah, I think it's, yeah.
It was God's grace that we escaped. And then we had to now duck and then follow him through. At that time, you will have died. So if somebody will have killed you, all you have to do is to try and, you know, get yourself out of it.